So this is my 2005 Lincoln Navigator. This model range was 2004 to 2006. Same with Ford Expeditions. It came with a 5.4 liter engine, and this engine was memorable because it had spark plugs that tended to break on extraction. You'll see a lot of comment about that on the internet, and I did some reading. At about 100,000 miles, I wanted to change those spark plugs. That's a little late under the service schedule. So there are two different tools available to help, to design specifically to help in the extraction of spark plugs from these Triton engines. When I was in the States, I picked up both tools. They're either or. If one doesn't work, you try the other one. If I prepared better for this video, I'd show you the pictures about them, but I think you'll be able to find them pretty easily. I brought them over here, took it to Ian, said, here are the tools. He came back to me at the end of the day and said, no problem. I used the first tool and they came out cleanly. I didn't use the second tool. And so since I'm not going to change spark plugs again, I took those tools and I put them on eBay. I honestly said, any of you that's got this 5.4 Triton engine in a Ford F150 pickup or an Expedition or a Navigator, you need to have these tools to change your spark plugs. And they sold right away. I didn't lose any money. I didn't want to make any money. And I expect that person has used them and has put them back on eBay. They're kind of circulating in the country for one use only by each owner. I do have a Bentley type grill on the front. I replaced after some car that was meeting me in the road had a bicycle fly off and hit my grill. So I replaced it just with this because I couldn't find an OEM grill. However, I've just seen one on eBay, just a 2005 Lincoln Navigator grill, original, for 50 pounds over in Maidenhead, collection only. So if I figure out how I can get over to Maidenhead, I might pick up a grill and restore the grill to this. Now, if you are going to live overseas, well, this is hardly relevant to anyone, but in the UK, you know, we drive on the left, so the headlights have to be prismed to direct, not in oncoming traffic, but over in the other direction. And Lincolns and Ford, these Lincolns and Fords are unusual in that the headlights cannot be adjusted in angle of deflection. So basically, I really barely passed inspection with this sequence of deflectors I have to make sure it drives legally. Here is the V8 5.4 liter Triton engine. There's the American battery. I have the heavy duty battery. I'll just slip off the engine cover here and show you the LPG, liquid petroleum gas injectors. That's a filter. Those are the ejectors. Zavoli is a very well-known Italian make. And I have some over here. So another thing that gives out on these vehicles are the struts that hold up the hood, the bonnet, as they say over here. I keep forgetting to get some of these when I'm in the States. That's because I don't have to lift the engine very often. But I have this fabulous piece of aftermarket equipment, which is right here. It is an old Wilson 5-iron that holds up the hood perfectly. Yeah, let me get into the vehicle now and start it up. We're on lockdown here still in England, and every once in a while with a full household, I need my extra space, and the Navigator here has served as a second office for me when I have to be on the phone and it's quiet. It's very comfortable in here, as most of you know who know this vehicle. Right, I'm going to start it up. I'll show you these, if you can see them, the signals I get. Low tire pressure, not really. Suspension switched off, yeah, okay, I know that. We don't have air suspension anymore. Low tire pressure, yeah, I got that. That's not really. That's just the absence of the sensors. So those are the signals it gives me. I was thinking it gives me a signal that the electric sideboards are not working, but it doesn't give me that signal. Okay. Now I've got the engine running. There it is. Wonderful V8. Sounds great. I want to tell you a story now about the exhaust. Oh, well, first of all, I didn't clean the car before these videos. Sorry about that. This is its natural state. The paintwork, the body's great. There is some rust in the floorboards along the side, but not a problem. I can't even quite see it. Let's see. No, you can't see it, but it's just underneath. There are a few paint mars because we have used this vehicle avidly in the hills and distant perambulating places of England. Bushes, hills, rivers, roads. So this gets the job done. After the first little mar, I stopped worrying about it. I always thought someday I'd give it a good paint job, which I still might do. But anyway, on the exhaust. So the exhaust rusted through, as they do. Over here, I could not locate a stock exhaust system, nor could I find a business who would make me one by bending pipes to order. But I did find that the company Magnaflow had a very small distribution network in Europe, and they had on their website that they had one exhaust system for this vehicle in Poland. So I found out who their distributor in the UK is, and it's a place west of Heathrow Airport. And I called them and I asked them to get this system in for me, and they did. And it is a high performance system. If you can hear the wonderful grumble of the V8 engine coming off from back here. And so I took it to their shop. It's all stainless steel, it won't rust out again. And I was chuffed that as I pulled in to their working bay, and the next bay over was a Ferrari V12 when they were installing a Magnaflow system on it. So that's the story, and it does provide some extra horsepower. So it really just makes it quite fun to drive it. Once again, you hear that rumble. It's on gasoline right now, but when that kicks over into LPG, when the engine's warm, there will be no smoke coming out of this. It is a very clean burning car. I've got two more stories to tell you about electrical matters. One is about the key. We lost a key. We only had one key that's programmed to get through the alarm system. So I did actually look at importing that or back to the States, because if I lose the one working key, then this is just one big lump of immovable metal. And there are, as I said in the other video, there are no dealer facilities here to reprogram a new key. However, I did find a guy who knew a guy who knew a guy that took my working key, and he brought me back, I did have the key blanks to give him. He brought me back 4 keys, all of which had been properly programmed to start the car. And I thanked him and I paid him, and I didn't ask any more questions on why he had the ability to do that. The other question about electrics is that we were about to set out on a long trip to France, the 6 of us. I mean, it was the day we were leaving. We loaded up, and we were ready to go, and I went to start the car up, and yes, again, reference to the other video, it was a dead battery. And I think it was because simply the rear window had not been latched shut. And again, the Lincoln will drain the battery all night if you don't have it all properly locked. So I had a full tank of gasoline, a full tank of liquid petroleum gas. We loaded up, we jumped it with the other car, we loaded up and we set out. We drove to Calais, had to queue up in a 4 or 5 mile long line to get to the Eurostar vehicle car. Got on the Euro car, and then we got off the train and drove on into France. And it was a 7-hour journey with this car idling through that long queue and on the Euro train, and arrived at the farmhouse with no problem, no overheating, no problem, lots of fuel laps. So it was 7 hours of basically idling and driving. And when I got there, the battery was fully charged and we had no more problem on the holiday. Now, a word about the automatic transmission. So the service book says at 50,000 miles, the filter ought to be changed and the fluid changed. The filter is a large basket type molding that breaks when you take it off. So it's immediately disposed of when you change it, and you have to have one ready to install. These are not things you find on the shelf at Walmart. I had to order one from a dealer and bring it over. It was a couple $100. But I waited to 100,000 miles to make the change. Now, I also did the research to find the proper transmission oil to put in it. Now, this is a ZF transmission, a German transmission used in a lot of high-powered luxury cars in Europe, like Bentley, the Volkswagen Phaeton, and other vehicles. I didn't really know enough about it at the time, so I just wanted to import the correct specification from Motorcraft, Mercon SP. I found a company who would ship me Mercon SP overseas, and so I did that. It took 11 quarts to fill the transmission on the filter change. I had to order it in a bulk of 48, so I have 37 quarts of this in my shed in case anyone needs any. Well, if I think of any more hints and hacks, I might do a video part 3. I might find some photos of the Navigator in action. Hope you found this interesting. Hope you found some interesting tricks in case you need them, in case you have a Navigator outside of the country, in the Sahara, in Africa, on Mars, wherever you have a Navigator and don't have ready access to dealer and parts facilities. I hope some of these hacks are helpful to you to keep this machine running. Thanks a lot. Bye. So now it's off to storage, where only this car can get the job done.